Today on our 2012 Jeep Wrangler, you're going to be taking a look at and show you how to install the Roadmaster Brake-Lite relay kit for towed vehicles. Part number RM-88400. The 5 main components for a flat tow setup are your braking system, your wiring, your tow bar, your safety cables, and your base plate. This is what our Brake-Lite relay looks like when we get it. This is going to hook to our Brake-Lite switch in our towed vehicle. You can see we have 5 wires here. Our black wire is going to hook to the wire coming off our Brake-Lite switch that's going to the lights. Red wire goes to the fuse panel, white wire is going to be our ground wire. Then we have our blue and our green wire. If you have a keyed start, you'll use the green wire. If you have a push button start, you'll use the blue wire. We have a key start, so we're just going to cut that off. We'll cut off our blue one. Your red wire that goes out to your fuse panel. You're going to get a little bag like this. It's got your fuse holder and then a little bit of wire. This is not going to be long enough to get you out of the driver's side over to the passenger side. You're going to need about 6 foot of wire. You can find that on our website using part number 16-1-1. Now let's talk about what the Brake-Lite relay does. This gets installed to your Brake-Lite switch in your Jeep Wrangler. When you're flat towing your Jeep Wrangler, if you don't have this, you turn on the blinker, your braking system applies the brake, your brake light in the Jeep is going to override your turn signal. We don't want that to happen. That's what this is for. When we tie this into your Brake-Lite switch, when you turn your Brake-Lite system on, your braking system on, that signal is going to be blocked so that the Wrangler is only getting the signal, the brake signal, turn signal, running light signals from the RV. When the braking system in there applies the brake, that brake signal is not going to override the blinker coming from the RV. The Jeep Wrangler requires a Brake-Lite relay. Most states require a braking system on a flat-towed vehicle. While you're installing the braking system, it's a good idea to go ahead and install this at the same time, because the indicator light that's in the braking system kit, this has to be tied into it. Now that we've gone over some of the features and what this does, let me show you how to put it in. Now we're going to connect the 2 black wires, the one coming from our Geforce controller, one coming from our operating unit, and the one coming from our indicator light. We're going to connect all those together using the supplied butt connectors that come in the kit. Put 2 of the black wires together. Put that down. Black wire coming from our indicator light, go on the other end. Next, we're going to take the 2 red wires, the one coming from our operating unit and Geforce controller, and connect those together. So to install our Brake-Lite relay, you're going to have a panel right here on your dash. We're going to go ahead and pull that off. Just pull back on it. Set that aside. 2 10mm head bolts here. Move that dash plate there. This right here is going to be our Brake-Lite switch. You're going to see wires coming off it. Go ahead and strip back the tape. One thing I recommend is don't pull on this hard. Just make sure when you're stripping that back, you don't move this whole thing around a whole lot. So strip back enough to where you have access to your wires. And then what we're going to do is you need to test the wires to determine what wire you're going to be tapping into. So we determined that the white wire, and it's got a brown stripe on it, is going to be our wire that we're going to be tapping into. So what we're going to do, cut that there. We're going to strip back both ends. Then we're going to take a butt connector, actually 2 of them, and we're going to put one of these on each side of the wire that we just cut in half. There's 2. Okay. Now, our relay. Green wire is going to go to the wire that's going to our switch. But we need to connect the red wire coming off our indicator light to this. So we're going to tie these two together, put it in the wire that's going to the switch. This is going to go onto the other side, the other wire that's going out to our taillights. Now I've gone ahead and connected my red wire, my extra red wire running out to my battery, to the red wire coming off of my brake light relay. My ground wire, which was my white wire. There's actually existing grounds here. This add-on that this customer did, right here behind it, you see this wire here, there's another one here. Either one of those can be used because they're both factory grounds. I just took this plate off, stuck my white wire on this back one here, and then put the plate back on. We'll go ahead and put our relay in place. It's only going to fit in there one way. I'm going to leave it hang just like that. We'll go ahead and hook it up to the fuse outside. And once we make sure everything's working correctly, we can bundle up our wires and we'll hide them all up behind the dash. In your kit, you're going to get a fuse and a fuse tab like this. You need to test your fuses to determine which fuse is only hot when the key is in the on position. This fuse right here, this 10 amp fuse, we determine is only powered when the key is in the on position. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this fuse. It's going to go into our fuse tab, and our new fuse is going to go onto this top side of our fuse tab. This wire or fuse is going to get connected to the wire coming from inside the vehicle. We'll get some needle nose pliers and pull that out and make sure the one we just pulled out, we're going to put in the bottom, and then our one that comes in our kit will go on the top. We're not going to put these in just yet. I want to make sure we're going to fit, and I'm going to connect my wire here. So now we'll go ahead and connect it to, we're going to strip it back. I'm going to take some tape before I finish it up. Electrical tape here, we'll just cover up this butt connector. Go ahead and put our fuses in place. Install our fuse tab. So it looks like that this little corner of this plastic piece here from our fuse panel is not letting this go down all the way. So I'm actually going to trim that edge. There we go. And the last thing I need to do is either cut a little notch in the side of this or in the lid. I prefer to do it in this here because it's one piece. Our lid is actually doubled, just so our wire doesn't get pinched. Make sure our lid's going to close. There we go. That'll do it for a look at and installation on the Roadmaster Brake-Lite Relay Kit for towed vehicles, part number RM-88400 on our 2012 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited.